What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Iceberry combo video and deck profile. I'm so excited to bring you guys this video because the new Iceberry support is extremely, surprising in terms of how good it really is. You know, when you see Iceberry cards, you're like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's garbage, right? It's not gonna change anything to my life, but I'm literally not exaggerating. This new support is so incredibly good that I can actually see a tier 1 potential in the future for Iceberry, because now the deck actually just plays with one card, and it actually puts up like really nasty boards, and I'm going to show you guys a bunch of combos as well as probably the most optimized deck list that I was able to, create for you guys with the new support. So yeah, get ready for, I think this is 4 combos or something. So I'm going to, of course, combine everything in one video, and I can only do that with your support. So make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. It really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And now let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, I've got Revealer of the Iceberry as well as any discard, but Kashtira Fenrir just makes this deck even better because not only does it get you the discard for the Revealer, but it's also a body, so it's like free real estate. So yeah, special summon the Fenrir and then get another Fenrir. You can do that obviously without Fenrir. The only difference to the end board is that you're gonna have one less monster on the board, that's it. Anyways, normal summon Revealer and then discard in order to special summon any Iceberry tuner from the deck. And then for the rest of the turn, you can only special summon water monsters. Not the end of the world. And the other effect as well, you control another Iceberry monster. Your opponent cannot tribute summon. So in other words, this deck is very well equipped to beat Flunderies. Like, extremely well equipped. It already has like a built-in Fog King. That's broken. And you're going to be special summoning the Hexa Spirit of the Iceberry, which is a Foolish Burial for a level 3 or lower Iceberry monster. So we're going to be dumping Mirror Magic Master of the Iceberry, and whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, not even by a card effect, and it doesn't even matter where, you get to search any Iceberry card, either from your deck or banish to hand. This card is clearly overpowered, and it has another effect on the field where you can tribute any other effect monster. Doesn't have to be an Iceberry, and then you get to special summon upwards of 3 tokens on your board, and this card will gain 1 level for each of the tokens that you summon. But then until the rest of the turn, you're locked under water synchros only. Anyways, you're going to now be searching for this card right here, Georgius, Swordsman of the Iceberry, level 6 tuner, and if you control an Iceberry monster, you get to special summon it from the hand for free, and upon normal or special, you get to revive back an Iceberry from her grave, and it doesn't lock you under anything. That's not too bad, and again, another effect that it has is kind of like an Abyss Dweller-esque effect while you control another Iceberry monster, just like Revealer. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in the graveyard. That is kind of nasty, so we have a Fog King, so that our opponent cannot tribute summon, very good against Flunderies, and then kind of like an Abyss Dweller in a way, but only for monsters. So against Unchained, might not necessarily be the best, but against like tier elements, for example, it's not too bad. Like, sure, they can trigger Scream and Sullic, but that's it, that's all. The rest of their deck does nothing. Anyways, now we're going to be synchro summoning for a level 10 monster using the level 6 tuner as well as the level 4 non-tuner in order to go into Lancia, Dragonic Ancestor of the Ice Spirit Mountain. Not an Iceberry monster, keep that in mind. It's really annoying, but it does help you out a lot in the Iceberry deck because once per chain, if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can special summon any Iceberry from your hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard. And then, this is the best part, you can change an opponent's attack position monster to defense. The reason why this matters is because your Iceberry monsters all have very weak stats. So if you can prevent your opponent from attacking over your Iceberry monsters, they're really going to be applying a lot of pressure because you can end on like a bunch of floodgates on your board. Anyways, you're now going to be using the effect of the Mirror Magic, tribute the Hexa in order to summon 3 tokens, and this card becomes level 5. Now we're going to be synchro summoning for Coral Dragon, which is a level 6 tuner, and also draws us a card when it's sent to the graveyard. Now we're going to be going into Dragite to draw 1 card, and just like that, with only 1 single Fenrir and 1 Revealer, we were able to end on the Lancia as well as the Dragite, and we still have the Fenrir as well as 1 draw. So I think you already understand that Revealer plus any discard means that you end on these 2 synchro monsters and 1 draw. This board is actually kind of almost vulnerable to Lava Golem Sphere mode and stuff like that, because if this card leaves the field by an opponent's card, not even a card effect, you can special summon an Iceberry synchro monster from your extra deck, and it is treated as a synchro summon. So, in other words, you're going to be special summoning a Trishula that can rip a card from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. That is kind of scary. And when our opponent special summons a monster, once per chain, up to twice per turn, we get to revive back or special summon from the deck or hand or whatever an Iceberry monster. And then by summoning the Georgius, we get to revive back yet another Iceberry monster. And again, now our opponent is kind of like under an Abyss Dweller-esque effect. So even if our opponent triggers a bunch of effects, it's not going to do anything. No Agido, no Kelbeck, Sure, he gets the Scream, but I couldn't care less. Our opponent summoned the monster, we get to summon the General Wayne of the Ice Barrier, which is kind of like a Shen Shen, so spells and traps sent from the field to the opponent's grave are banished instead. And on summon, you get to search an Ice Bearer spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Searching an Ice Bearer spell or trap from your deck to your hand translates to searching any card, because you can search the Medallion of the Ice Bearer, which searches any monster. So yeah, this card basically reads, search your deck for any Ice Bearer card, which is really nice. And again, our opponent is kind of like an Under Abyss Dweller, and this was, you know, through Lava Golem, we still have another card in our hand, and we still have a bunch of other cards in our hand, because, yeah, I mean, you don't need, you only need like 2 cards in order to do all of that. I mean, 1 card with 1 discard, and you're getting your money back anyways with the Coral Dragon draw. So yeah, this is nothing, by the way. This is only combo number 1. It gets way better. Alrighty, so combo number 2, this time my hand is infinitely better. I have Revealer with Speaker for the Ice Barriers, and any discard. Look at what you can do. So normal summon, discard the talent, and then summon not the Hexa, but rather the Mirror Magic, and then special summon the Speaker. We are on 3 summons, and now we're going to go summon number 4, Bahamut Shark, and then summon number 5, Nibiru Proof, so summon Toad. Combo number 1, if you only have like Revealer and 1 discard, you do lose to Nibiru. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some, but when we are talking about 2-card combos, this is where Nibiru is no longer too problematic. And you have a lot of floating, a lot of grave effects, and a lot of recovery in this deck. Ironically, I know, again, it's Ice Barrier, but yeah, this deck is genuinely getting infinitely better. So yeah, anyways, now we can go Mirror Magic, tribute the Bahamut Shark, which is useless, summon 3 tokens, it becomes level 5. And then we can go into Coral Dragon, search our deck for the Georges, and we got an Ice Bearer monster on the field, an Ice Bearer token, so might as well special summon the Georges and then revive back the Revealer, and then sink into the Lancia Dragonic Ancestor. And by using the Graveyard effect of Speaker for the Ice Bearers, we get to summon 1 level 1 token. And we got 3 level 1 tokens and Coral Dragon, which means we can go into Ravenous Crocus Dragon and draw 1 with the Coral Dragon and 3 with a Ravenous Croc. So we can draw 4 cards, just like that. And we have a Toad and a Lancia, and this can also destroy a card on either player's turn by discarding 2 cards. It is kind of expensive, but, you know, again, you're making all of your money back. Every single time you have to discard cards or stuff like that, you have so much draw power. And you can also play Prosperity and not go into Ravenous Croc or Coral Dragon, just skip those steps and do some other options instead. You can go for more interruptions. The world is your oyster. And this is one of the very few times where making this joke is funny. Anyways, let's get into combo number 3 now. Alrighty, so this is a random hand. My hand is very, very nice, but at the same time very weird because I don't have Revealer, I don't have, you know, Hexa, I don't have Mirror Magic, so what can I do? I have Fenrir, Ice Jade Cradle, Freezing Chains of the Ice Bearer, which is kind of like a Monster Reborn for a level 4 lower Ice Bearer, doesn't negate the effect, we like that. And then we got General Wayne, which again searches an Ice Bearer spell or trap, or any Ice Bearer card, as well as Georges, which is the Monster Reborn, as I said, and the Abyss Dweller. So how can I play this one out? Well, by being creative. Special Summon Fenrir, search itself, and then Tribute Summon! Yes, we're back in 2003, where Tribute Summoning is actually the play. And like I said, you get to search for a spell or trap which searches a monster, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. Search the Revealer, and now you might be thinking, but Yaksign, why are you doing that? We already went through our normal summon, why are you searching yet another normal summon? Don't worry about it. Now we can go Ice Jade Cradle, search the Ice Jade Ran Aijirin, I don't know how to English, and by discarding a water, we get to summon it as well as a level 3 token. And this is kind of nasty because it is a 1-card Lancia, Dragonic Ancestor of the Ice Spirit Mountain. Like, bro, are you kidding me? Zero effort whatsoever, and we cannot resummon our boss monster. But we're not done yet, boys. No. Because now we can go Georges, special summon what? Will you look at that? Revealer! And, oh, well, again, will you look at that? Discard to special summon the Mirror Magic. And now we can go into Deep Sea Prima Donna, which doesn't really do anything because we don't really play the Atlantean package. But whatever, the Mirror Magic is going to be searching the Speakers of the Ice Barrier, and now we're going to be special summoning it, and then go into Bahamut Shark, detach to summon Toad, and again, we're not done yet, summon 1 token, and we can go into a Dragite, and then this effect is irrelevant, but we can now Monster Reborn back the Mirror Magic, and we have a lot actually going for us now. So Dragite in this deck is just like the freest thing ever, because you're always gonna have a bunch of waters in the grave, so you don't even have to worry about that. It cannot be targeted by opponent's monster effects because it was a synchro summon using Prima Donna. And then we got Lancia, which can summon a bunch of monsters. We've got so many monsters on the board that, you know, the Freezing Chains was absolutely not necessary, like whatsoever. And then we got Georges, which again, while we control another Ice Barrier monster on the board, that's the reason why I went Monster Reborn for the Mirror Magic of the Ice Barrier. Our opponent cannot use monster effects in the grave. And then we got Bahamut and Toad, and just like everything you can ask for, a stack graveyard. Our follow-up next turn is going to be pretty disgusting. And I'm going to be showing even more ways of just having more gas for next turn on combo number 4. Alright, so my hand is very interesting, but my opponent has 3 hand shops, so, you know, it's something, but it's not even that much because I have talents anyways. So my hand has Speaker of the Ice Bearers again, Hexa Spirit of the Ice Bearer, talent, wins over the Ice Bearer, one of the most interesting cards in this deck, and finally Mirror Magic, so again, very good hand. And if you know what you're doing, it's gonna be really hard to lose if you're going first. So yeah, normal summon the Hexa, that's going to bait a Veiler because everybody's trying to Veiler this card if they don't know what deck you're playing or I mean what you're trying to do. And then the talent is going to be making my opponent lose the Veiler. And I'm going to be going Wind over the Ice Bearer to summon the Revealer, discard, and that's going to be prompting the final Veiler because otherwise I summon the level 6 and then revive back and search. But I'm still going to be searching the level 6 anyway, so it doesn't matter. Special summon, and then revive back a monster from the grave, and then go special summon the Speaker, and then you already know it, Bahamut Shark into Toad, and then this is back to square one, where I really don't care that I got hit by double Veiler. So yeah, I'm gonna be going for a Croc, draw 3 freaking cards because that's fair, Monster Reborn back the Revealer, summon 1 token, and then again, you can already guess where this is going. Coral Dragon into the Ice Jade monster. I don't have to go for the level 10 monster now. And I'm drawing yet again another card. So I have 2 cards in my hand. 3 interruptions on the board, technically, as well as an Imperm. And this card is kind of, well, I mean, the continuous effect is kind of whatever. Again, through all those hand shops, so it really doesn't change anything to my life. You can hand shop me all you want, Bernard. I couldn't care less. And you better believe my opponent is just going to die completely, because look at that. I mean, normal summon the wagon. I'm gonna be like, nah, banish that shit. And then activate the Wakoshi. That's fine. I mean, no, destroy. And then on the end phase, look at this, man. I don't even have to use that prosperity. I have so much in my graveyard. I can just win only using my graveyard. So I can go Winds over the Ice Barrier to recycle back this Revealer from the grave, and then this card right here, Ice Barrier. You can Foolish your deck for a level 5 or higher water monster, and then recycle back any water monster from the graveyard. So I'm Foolishing the General Wayne, and then recycling back the Georges. And now normal summon the Revealer, special summon the Georges, revive back the Wayne, and then search a monster. Like, what is this, bro? He could have Sphere Moded me, and it wouldn't have changed anything whatsoever. And I have so many monsters on the board that I can't even use the effect of Revealer. And I have Mirror Magic, so when I discard it, I special summon a monster from the deck, and I search something with the Mirror Master. So it's like, I could literally combo off with 0 cards. You can hand rip me to the max, destroy every single card on my board, and again, only using 2 graveyard effects, I am way more than fine in order to win. And again, through all those hand shops, it changes nothing. My Toad never used its negate. Like, this is way too free. Yo, honestly, bro, if you don't vote Ice Bearer for president, you're misplaying. But anyways, let's get into the deck profile now. Alright, for the Ice Bearer deck profile, before we proceed, friendly reminder, of course, to smash the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. As long as I get your guys' support, I will never stop what I'm doing, and I absolutely love it. But anyways, for the deck list, so I'm playing 3 Fenrir. I think I've demonstrated why this card is just incredibly good. And for some miraculous reason, it dodged the list. I don't understand. But this card is way too good. You gotta abuse it while you can. And again, in any deck where you have to discard a card to play, this card's always nice. And again, the fact that Revealer has to discard any card, not necessarily an Ice Bearer card, is just even better. Anyways, Ice Jade, Aerogin, something, whatever. The Ice Jade package is really nice in this deck, so I wanted to take advantage of it. And this card is just free real estate, so I absolutely love it. Great card. It's pretty much a 1-card level 10 synchro monster on its own if you get to discard either an Ice Jade card, so another Grattle, or a water monster. It's very simple. But it does lock you under water only while you control the token. And then after that, you're no longer locked under anything. But it doesn't matter because this deck is water only anyways. So yeah, 3 Georges, of course. This is the Monster Reborn. It's a great card. And a Dweller, man. General Wayne, this card is kind of like a brick, so 1 copy should be enough. And then 1 Ice Jade Shamora. I just wanted like another card that I could search with the Cradle, because this card is a little awkward in the way it is written. So you can add one Ice Jade monster from your deck with a different name from the cards you control or in your grave. So if you already went through your Ran Agerine or something, you can't search it again, which means that you have to search another Ice Jade monster. And that's the reason why I wanted 2 different monsters with 3 spell cards to search. So I don't know, maybe you don't even have to do all of that. It's up to you. Maybe you can just go for like 3 Ran, Agerine, and then 0 Cradle. That way you also don't lose to like Droll and Anti-Spell and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a respectable option. It's really up to you, like I said. Anyways, 3 Revealer as well as 2 Speakers. So this card helps you get a level 4 extender for Bahamut Shark and Toad, and you also get to use his graveyard effect to summon a level 1 token, which gets you closer to summon Ravenous Croc to draw even more cards, because drawing 4 cards is very realistic when you got the Croco Dragon draws and the Coral Dragon. You're summoning so many tokens thanks to Mirror Magic, so it's really nice. And playing hand traps in this deck, just you're always going to be seeing them every single time. So yeah, if you go first, there is pretty much no way you lose. And speaking of which, Warlock of the Ice Bearer is potentially the best floodgate in this deck. It's pretty much an anti-spell fragrance. While you control another Ice Bearer monster, both players must set spell cards before activating them. Also, if either player sets a spell card, they cannot activate that spell until their next turn. This is quite literally the exact same wording as anti-spell. So this card, the fact that you can main deck it, always access it, because it's an Ice Bearer monster, means that your opponent will not be in a good mood when you summon this card. It's very dangerous. But yeah, for the hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Emperor, as well as 2 Talent, 1 Call by the Grave for utility. This is very flexible. You just play whatever works the best in the format. It could be anything, honestly. Same thing with the Fenrir. You got a lot of room for flex, you know, non-engine, so it's fine. And I mean, I'm maxing out consistency even with the 3 Prosperity, because like I said, if you go for Prosperity, you can't draw cards. So instead of going into Coral Dragon and Ravenous Croc, you just go into other options, and then that way you don't really feel the conflicting too much. Anyways, yet another consistency card would be Medallion of the Ice Barrier, and obviously Mirror Magic of the Ice Barrier and Hexa Spirit. Sorry, I forgot about them. How could I forget? Because these cards are just like insane. Like Mirror Magic is the best card in this deck. It's the level 2 that just does everything you can ask for. And then the Hexa Spirit is a Foolish Burial. It's not like that good, but it is still needed in a few combos. It foolishes your deck for an Ice Bearer monster. So it's still a 1-card combo. Obviously, it still does some really nice things, but it's not on the same level as Revealer. Revealer is where it's at. Like, that's the real 1-card starter. Hexa Spirit, not too bad, but there's better. Now, one of the most interesting cards in this deck would be Winds over the Ice Barrier. So this card reads, tribute any number of Ice Barrier monsters. Special summon from your deck that many level 4 lower Ice Bearer monsters with different names from each other. Doesn't negate the effect. And again, it can tribute any number of Ice Bearer monsters, including the tokens that you summon off of Mirror Magic. This is ridiculous. So you can go Mirror Magic, get rid of another effect monster, summon 3 tokens, and then use this to summon 3 Ice Bears from your deck. And again, the effects are not negated. And then during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the grave, you can banish it and then recycle back an Ice Bear monster in your banished or in your graveyard. So this card is just like Follow-Up City. It's a really, really good card, and same thing with the Ice Barrier Trap card. This card is also searchable in this deck because it's still an Ice Barrier card, even though it doesn't have anything else in the name. It's literally just Ice Barrier, the most original name you will ever see on a card. Anyways, the last card I kind of have to explain is Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. So when this card is activated, you can revive back a level 4 lower Ice Barrier monster in your grave. Again, doesn't negate the effect. And while you control 3 or more Ice Bearer monsters, your Ice Bears are unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck. Not super relevant, I'm not gonna lie, but whatever, we'll take what we can get. It's still a searchable monster reborn, so you should be playing 1 just for safety measures. But yeah, that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. Again, the biggest change I could imagine would probably be swapping utility cards for others, and also removing Cradle and removing Tremora, and then just playing 3 copies of the Ran Agerine. Anyways, for the extra deck, we're playing 1 Trishula, 0 Dragon of the Ice Bearer. I never even considered going into this card. I actually think it sucks, so yeah, I don't even know why it's here. Anyways, Lancia, Dragonic Ancestor of the Ice Spirit Mountain. This is the monster that you're always going to summon when you're going first. And then Sheng Ying, not too bad. I mean, it's another water synchro that you can summon, so why not? 1 Ice Jade, Jimir, Agerine. This card is so overpowered. I'm gonna be making like a full video on this card because it's really that good. And it's actually kind of generic. Like, a lot of other decks can play this card. It's insane. 1 Christian Corion Gandrax. Level 9 monster with 2 tuners, so it's kind of like the opposite of Trishula. but the effect is insane. So sometimes when you have like too many tuners, you go into this, and then the other way around, when you got more non-tuners than tuners, you go into Trishula. So both of these cards are good going second, how you're breaking boards more often than not. And you can also chain block, so that's nice. One Navy Dragon Mech, very similar to the effect of Vermilion Dragon Mech, but a little different. It's a Water Synchro again, so you can summon it. And then Ravenous Croc, again, Water Synchro, Dragite, same shit. White Aura Whale, again. And then the Gungnir, Dragon of the Ice Bearer. I mean, most of this extra deck, really. I mean, every single monster is a water. The only monsters that you can't summon sometimes are Bahamut and Toad, because Mirror Magic is the only one that locks you under Water Synchros. And then some other cards just lock you under water only. So, when you're locked under water only, you don't care, but Water Synchro just means that you can't go into these two monsters. Not the end of the world, because you can still go into some negates, like Dragite, but, I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, for the idea section, one General Raiho, it's an interesting floodgate, but it's not on the same level as Warlock, so you don't need it. One Defender of the Ice Barrier, this card is complicated for no reason. It's not bad, but it's just not good enough. One Gradle Dragon. It's not super easy to summon because you need an Aqua Tuner, and not all of your tuners are Aqua. Like, this is a Winged Beast, for example. So it has a really good effect, but it's... yeah, I don't know. There's better. And then Brionac, this card actually sucks. And then the other Brionac, this card's even worse because it's not an Ice Bearer monster. It's Brionac, the Dragon of Icy Malevolence, so it's dog shit. And then whatever. And then Foolish Goods with more Ice Barrier trap cards. And finally, the new Ice Bear Trap, I actually think is the worst out of all the new cards that we've been getting. The other cards are infinitely better. But anyways, that's it for this deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about Ice Bear in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.